Hey, what's up? Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to another Monday Maps with me, MADDRROB, here on Obsidian Brews. What's up, y'all? How y'all been? It's been a minute, but glad you guys are back. We're down for another fun times of me coming up with another idea that's supposed to be real easy, and then it's not. And I make a map about it because it's gonna be fun. Yes, I made another sketch of what I've been planning to do, and it's way more than it should be. Can you see it? Sort of, kind of, maybe? Yes? Okay, cool. Yeah, it's bigger than the last one. Eh, we'll be fine. But yeah, before I get started, couple things. Myself and fellow Obsidian Brews member Matt Resmont Walker, we were at Gen Con a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. Great to see all the folks out there, all the homies. Love to see y'all. Can't wait to see you guys at the next one. It was super awesome. And shout outs to all the great people. It was super awesome. I forgot to play in a one of the studio games at Candace the Magnificent's table, and it was super awesome. So go to the Gen Con TV on Twitch. You can go see that game. It's sort of buried in there on the Friday one, but it was awesome, and we had a great time. Yeah. Secondly, for all of y'all who are going to Dragon Con, the entire Obsidian crew will be there. You can come see us. We're going to be on panels, doing a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, we're going to be on a lot of stuff, y'all, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be real cool. So yeah, come out, say hi. We don't bite. We really love to see all the friends, and cool. So yeah, that'll be dope. That's gonna be real fun. Next, y'all, Obsidian Brews has something cooking for y'all. Obi's own fearless leader, Bendy Dinosaurs, has written and is GMing a Thirsty Sword Lesbians adventure with a brilliant cast. Y'all, I had to write this down so I didn't forget it. Candace the Magnificent, Exquisite Corpse, Madame Ava Couture, and our own Obsidian Brews director of production, the Yambe. Yeah, she's gonna be out there. You're gonna see her face, not just hiding behind the cameras. You're gonna see her face. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, that's all. This Friday, the 16th. Yes, the 16th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, come out. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be super cool. I'm super stoked. Yeah, and if you guys stick around to the end, you will be able to see maybe a trailer for the Merc 2099. Maybe. So yeah, stick around. It's gonna be awesome. Last but not least, I get to be a little happy and toot my own horn a little bit. You all may remember, back in the long lost year of last year, I was part of myself, MADDRROB, was part of the Harlem Hellfighters Never Die over on Queens Court Gaming, the 6-part actual play run by the Noir Enigma with Laura Tutu, Christian A. Fluffy Goomba, Jazz Underscorio, and really loved that game. Thought we did a phenomenal job and told a great story. And it turns out that other people liked us too, as we have been nominated in part of the New Jersey Web Fest. We got nominated for Outstanding Horror and Thriller Actual Play, Best Overlay, and Fluffy Goomba got nominated for Best Costume. Y'all, he killed it as Dwayne. It was awesome. Loved it. So yeah, keep your eyes open, ears out on what's going on in New Jersey Web Fest. There were a whole bunch of other people who got nominated for some great stuff. Shout out to all the homies who got nominated. We see y'all. Y'all doing great things, and I'm so proud of my friends and all y'all out there doing good stuff. Be good, do good, spread the good around. We need more of that in the world. So But yeah, so that's real cool. That's real cool. But I think that about wraps up any announcements I have now, and we may just be able to hop on into this map. So yeah, as always, if you have any questions about what I'm making, or if feel free to pop it in the chat. If I look over here, look at the chat, look over here, look at the map, 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 you get it. And yeah, so with that, I think we can start. As you can see, this map is a little bigger than previous ones. This is 30 by 30 instead of my typical 25 by 25. Just because I sort of had, I wanted to go big, guys. That's sort of all. So this may be a little harder than previously, but I'm going to try to cut down the areas so it makes it a little easier to work with. Now, recently, I sort of saw this idea from somebody else, and then I wanted to do my own take on it. And I think this should be pretty fun. So, let me take a look to see some of the tools I have. Yes, we're not going to start with walls. This one's going to be outside. More of a canyon pass. Yeah, more like a canyon pass. So instead of using walls to denote our separations, we're going to be using some of these path tools for like cliffs and things to denote separation. And I've got a couple of cool tricks that I'm going to try to use to show some fun layers and things. First, see if I can find some cliffs. We've got the cool rocky ones. Some of these. Let's see if we get the really big straight ones. Yeah. Now, I was thinking we would sort of stratify it with like this type of dirt cliff. Let's see what this looks like. Zoom in. Okay. So we're going to take that and we're going to zoom it up to like 4. See how much space that takes up. Almost correct. So let's do, no, not 5. Too much. Let's do it to 3. I should take about a little more than 2. Perfect. What we're going to do here is actually sort of line the outside with this cliff set. It's sort of our barrier. I'm going to do the same down here. I was thinking on doing one across. What I can do is I can either bend it in, sort of make it an enclosed area this way. Well, but instead, what I'll do, I'll just sort of drop these down by like 1 point. So similar to what I did before. Cool. Like that. Drop it down here. If it doesn't work, we'll fix it in post. And this is the one I'm going to try to make like 4. Much bigger. Try to take the. No, you don't want to move the way I would like you to. Nope. If it doesn't want to move the way you want it, that's fine. Just delete it again. little bit, so they sort of cheat into where we need it to be. Yeah, just cut it off right there. And we'll do some more things to make it look bigger as we go. But the tricks with this one is that I got a couple of pathways in here in the middle of this place that are going to delineate where we're playing around in. I'm gonna drop this one to like, I want to say the 400 layer, but it may be bigger. So what I actually want to do, let's go to these tops. Sort of just see what's there. We've got tops, we've got ridges, and depending on how certain things look, like these ridges look like broken rock more than the tops do. So we may go with like similar color, right? Yeah, that's not bad. Try to cut this down a little bit. 2. And I'm gonna do a thing. It's gonna look a little funky. See if it works. I'm actually gonna use this ridge as sort of an outline for other things I'm gonna do. Hopefully this works. From the edge, I think I went out with 4. So I'm keeping the smoothness on. Typically I wouldn't, but we sort of need it. Go mount. 2, 4. Wrap it on itself. Here. At 14 or 7. Nope. 17.7. This goes straight across to 17, 22. Hey, you got it. A little further in, just for drama. That. Cool. Not so bad. We're gonna do it again. Right now, I think you can start to see the difference between like an upper layer and a lower. Same way we have it here. So up, like top, middle, lower. We're going to try to work on those levels to see if we can get something to come out cool. If we have to adjust, we'll adjust. No worries. Here comes the other fun part where you have to adjust which side you're working on. So we're going to start normal and then do a little fade out later. So we're going to start at 23. 224. It's parts as even as we can. Here, here transition out. I don't always use it because sometimes the more you click, the thinner it gets, but it actually doesn't look too bad. Let's just check the number of points we have. Yeah, see, this will start to get really thin. I'm gonna try to hide it here. We'll do it. We'll see how we can hide the end. Same ending over here. Yep. Blend it in right there. There we go. Looks kind of good. Yeah. I'm gonna do a couple of different techniques here. I think we really should this. Dirt cliff. We're gonna start winding up. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. That was a test and it came out good. Cool. Tough to see it. Just sort of bend this with the Viking. And as you can see, as I start adding points, it gets thinner and thinner. That's the part I don't like. But it's all right. Sort of push this. Bit interesting, but it was just to give it the same gravitas you have that you need to. Come up with something like this. And as I said before, I'm gonna put these are at high layers, high level. For right now, I may drop them a little bit later, just to. Right now, this is just for height comparisons, but as you sort of drop it down lower, then you can start putting things on top of it. So as we stacked things, will accommodate. I can't for this. I cannot. Because similar to unlike Incarnate, there's no grouping things. I'd have to highlight stuff. I can do them as a group, but I have to select them and then move them together. But they have to go down. You have to be selected first. As things start to get complicated, I may not be able to do certain things. But that is also why I did some of these as try to group them together as one thing. I'll try to do as much together as possible so that it works out. Just notice this did not do the thing. Artifacting is always going to be an issue. A little funky on that one or two. Sort of. This seems not to be playing by the rules, so what I'm going to do is make our own rules. It does happen that sometimes the thing you're trying to do is not what it means. So we're going to cut back a little bit. Right, we'll cut back to about there. Remember Cliff, sweet. Cliff or Cliff Dirt 02A1. So this is the one that was firmer. Did this on the 900 level. Right. Oh, let's take out the smoothness. See if we can get it to just turn that way. Had shrink on. These are these tests that I'm always talking about where it's like, yeah, some just sort of force it to work. Trying to find where all the are. All right, cool. Oh, I can fix that. I had an idea. What you can do when stuff's not playing nicely. Just grab one of those ridges that sort of matches what you're. Right. You can just cover it. So if you don't like what's happening, meh, make your own. So like this edge here, we're just gonna create a new one. So it sort of covers the janky edge that's been forming. And it sort of gives you a more realistic looking edge there. Cool. Outcroppings, edges aren't always even stuff. So see, can't even tell it's not supposed to be there. And just to make it look normal, just gotta do the same thing on that side. I can't even tell that they were not joined. Cool, problem solved. We are going to save this, and I'm going to call Cliffs. I don't know. I didn't give this a cool name. Not really a cliffside rest. It's canyon. So canyon bridges. So far we've given this a little bit of dressing. We haven't really dropped in our floor yet. But you can sort of, just with the name, you can sort of go on for and why we sort of did what we did. So from here, got a couple more things we're going to do before we drop our floor. Just because I was thinking on using natural terrain, this sort of I think rocky dirt 03B. That's not the move. Yeah, like all these dirts are meh, they're alright. They look very monochromatic, and you're gonna have to get more color in there some kind of way. For right now, I think we're just gonna stick with like this terrain B. This is not what we're gonna use, but we'll get there. We'll think about it. But what I am gonna show you guys, oh no, that's work. Sorry, that's always right next to save. Boom, saves. I'm gonna show you a couple cool things for making more depth in your maps. Remember, these are on the 400 layer. I'm gonna do is with this path tool, find some good cliffs on these. Doesn't have to, we don't want super rocky. We want something that has texture, but it's not overly done. This will do. And what we're going to do is on that 400 layer, underneath what we're doing, let's see how big. This is kind of big. Cut it down to 3, a little bit smaller. In that, we're going to transition out drink. And what we're going to try to do is underneath what we did, just going to sort of hit this edge. And we'll need to edit the points on it. Have to pull it back a little bit. Sort of pull that to right there. Yeah, see, without the smoothness on this one looks a little fun. We'll redo it with smoothness. Down a little bit. Stretch this out a bit so it doesn't make it noticeable. I'll do the same thing on the other side to grow. None. Sort of take this edge here. Ah. Lost, just look for the end. No. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Can't find the end, so I just have to redo it. Sort of creates that look of a broken ridge right here. So there's something to traverse, which is pretty cool. If I do say so myself. Now, what I'm gonna do is probably try to do it again. You don't need to do the backside. If you're doing this on the backside looks weird. Because you're really only looking at it from either full top down, and I wouldn't do that, or you're sort of looking at it diagonally on. So you're only showing, you only need one side really to show depth here. So, but you will use these sides to continue that show of depth, right? Like that's how you can tell it's deeper, because the sides are deep, not just because of the pieces, not because you did another drop on this side. Looks a little weird, honestly. It looks like it bulged out, and that's not really what we're going for. No. So let's see. We're going to, I think we're going to try to fade these in. This one's going to be a little trickier because we all know that those corners are prone to artifact. So in these situations, I would tighten this up to close that off so you don't see that. This over. See, now it's playing. It's when you make them straight that they don't want to play nice. But let's keep going. I am going to finish these off. Transition out fade. No, we're going to try to shrink it if we can. It's going to be a little funky, but we're going to try. Not too bad. Hey, we'll take it. I'll try to grow this one. So now, sort of, this is covering up these little bits. Sort of look for the holes, look for the funky bits. Make sure everything looks sort of cool. Now, one of the things I'd like to make sure we do is show you we've gone in so far. Oops. We've gone in probably from the sides, but there's nowhere to go. It's trying to make something here. Sort of shows off where the primary goal of all of this. And I'm thinking I can go to my cliff tiles and find a cool rocky, stony entrance to a cave. And I can always change the type of stone later. And that's too small. Above walls, so it'll float above this. Whatever else we put down will be just above it. So something akin to this. see. This was the part I was thinking about, y'all. What cave do I want to use? Some of them are... Some of them are more prominent than others. And to have like a full size, like whatever's coming out of here is big type of deal. Sort of the vibe I was going for. I just do need to take off my shadows. And shit, this looks alright. Just before. That's better. Yeah. Too light. Too gray. Too dark. Yeah, we can only get so lucky. We will go with the original stone, or the befores. And what we'll do is we'll layer on top the appropriate paths to make it sort of like we wanted to. I need this to be 4. Okay. May do is have to raise this here. Keep that there. I can sort of use this and this, and then turn these. These are this, right? So Cliff Dirt 03F1, right there. See if we can find the color. Change it to Earthy F1. Do the same thing for that. Go from Vertical Cliff Dirt 02A1 to Earthy A1. Same thing with these. Give it the same overall. 1-4. I may have to shrink it a bit. It's 5. Let's go back to our object and want the orifice to be visible. I am not above. Continuous. Love it. That's just because it's shrinking. When you shrink and grow, it doesn't. Which is okay. We'll figure it out. Work. One. Turn that in that way. Ah. Think I picked the wrong one. Yeah. Making the cave idea look weird. I don't love it. So, we're gonna have to get creative team. I think we figured out how. Drop that down to. Yeah, that worked. And this, figure it out. Oh. There it is. Bring up both of these above the wall. Whoa. Sort of tie it in. We'll put some rocks there or something. Yeah. There we go. Sort of trying to keep the same overall rock type with this. So, every now and then you gotta futz around with it to get there, right? Cool. Save that. And so we've got all of our pieces. I did want to do like an archway here. That may be a little difficult. But hey, we're not here to do easy. Let's try some more. So, by the way, you can do it with one of these guys. If you're going to make it look big. Put it on a layer below, and then just sort of stick it underneath. It's doable. Not what I would suggest. You can also do it, sort of using some of these pieces. They've built in some things that make it a little bit easier. That's typically how I would have done these recesses. I would have just sort of made some cliff edges that taper off at the end. You can do it. Not so much what I wanted. Oh yeah, almost forgot. In case anybody was wondering, I'm using Dungeon Draft. That is the program I'm using. Fantastic for making battle maps. The assets I'm using currently are Forgotten Adventures. Check them out. I think I'm also have some Tom Kartos assets as well. Yes, Tom Kartos also makes some good stuff, so check them out on Patreon. Check out both of their Patreons for that. Make great assets. Makes making these maps so much easier. One of these days we'll get back to Incarnate and I'll make some cool. But for today, do some cool Dungeon Draft stuff. And let me see if there's anything I want to use for this, or if I want to just try to make it myself. I think I'll make it myself. And we can sort of do the same thing we did before. Where you sort of take this texture, this rocky texture, drop it down to 2. And you sort of want to, I think these are 4. You sort of want to be under this, but over this guy. So we're going to sort of just go underneath. For now. And then this guy, we're just going to send it back. So what it does, go back into it. Path. Oh, that would have been helpful. This path I'm going to redo. So I'm going to fade in and then shrink it. And so we're going to start about here. This is about the middle-ish area. Again, take this and it's back. You can sort of see where it starts to break there. And all you have to do is take your paths, edit your points, and you sort of edit this guy to a point order. Can't quite tell what's happening. So this works. And then the rest of this we're gonna take, we'll get it in shadow. So we're gonna do this one, grow, fade. Let me give it a little space, 10 feet or so. See these points here. That's sort of why I made so many, because it shrinks that point. The less points you get, or the further away your first node is, the thinner it is. The closer, the more chunky it is. And the more points you put in. Do again, take this, and we're going to send it back. And then take the edge of this path here. Sort of tack it. Yeah. It seems like just sort of coming all the way into the is the best way to do that. But now you can sort of see that there's a thicker archway here. And we'll figure out how to do the shadowing such that it looks accurate, you know? Well, let's save this. And I think we've got most of this looking decent, at least. We can change colors, which is great. And yeah, that did. I thought it would take longer. So that means I have more time for details. And that's cool. So yeah. So for all you guys watching this or just joining us, welcome to Monday Maps with me, MADDRROB, here on Obsidian Brews. Yeah, we're currently making like a canyon map where some interesting things may lie, entrances to various tunnels, dungeons, labyrinthine places may lie. But sort of utilizing our various levels to make things interesting. We've got the basic gist of the map done in an hour or so. So let's keep pushing through. Let's see what we can get to. So yeah, we're gonna try to... I figured out sort of what we're gonna do with the this, because we are gonna go with this more drab looking outer texture. Yeah, it's rocky dirt 04A. That looks fine. I did 03B before, but yeah, we need 04s. 04A. 04B gives you some rocks. What we're going to do is sort of take some wet mud, and there is like, let us... We should be looking at rocks. No. We want the dirt. We want the dirt. So 4B. And we'll go with regular dirt. But we will get some of that rocky terrain. This is grass. Get some good gravel textures going. Yeah, that's something we're gonna definitely get a chance to play with. And I always say paint an area with the texture you like, and then you could sort of switch it up, and it'll auto change for you. So yeah, like this OF looks pretty cool. 7's too close to our original color, but we can utilize our original color underneath it or adjacent to it. So instead of painting the whole thing, we sort of have dirt and then a more worn out rocky path over here. So you don't have to get all the way to the edges. Now I'm going to turn my intensity up so it makes it a little bit easier. But good thing about this is you don't need to be... It doesn't have to be all the way to the edges. We're not trying make this perfect. We are going for the imperfections. You can sort of see the hard rock at the edge with the dirt next to it, and then the more worn rock adjacent to it. And then we can sort of switch up all of our textures later as we go. So like right here, because people would like to jump over This would be more traveled. Now, just so you're aware, I don't know how often I go over actual intensity for these. The intensity slider, brush slider, is pretty straightforward. That's just how big the brush is. You know, from 1 within 1 to 6 within 6. The intensity is how much per click gets dropped. So typically it's at 4. If I have a 3 for my brush size, 1 click, you don't get but so much. I sort of have to either keep clicking or do a hold for it to come out. Now, if I turn my intensity up to 8, you see a lot less time. 1 click and you see it already start to fill out that space as much as possible. And a hold, boom, you got your 8. You got your full thing. 4, barely see it, that's 1 click. Press hold, see how long it takes for it to sort of expand out. But yeah, that's what intensity does. I tend to keep it either at an 8 because I need to paint fast, or somewhere between 4 and 6 if I'm just sort of dotting the area. We will be doing a little bit of that later. But now I'm keep it like 6. So sort of get these areas to get. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I appreciate you guys just hanging. And I hope you guys are enjoying the map. I'm glad it's coming together. Start to look too monochromatic, we'll just fix it. Ooh, great. It's a little yellow sandy-ish. And I could probably get this rocky dirt texture to more of a sand color. Yeah, that makes the walls pop a little bit more. And the rock pop a little more. Alright, cool. area more distinction. So, I'm sure I've said this before, and I'll continue to say it. You always want to delineate your areas from each other. So, if you can, give a different floor from where you're going, from where you are, been where you're going. So, fully highlighting that this, whatever is going on right here, is different than the paths you've been traveling. And we're going to make these different. I'm going to add some shadows to this, and then also add a little bit of darkness. I can change the I'm gonna change the actual color of it utilizing our pattern shape tool in a little bit. Because right now it does seem like all of your upper and lower are the same, pretty much. Now, there is one tool that I don't use often that I need to use more. I'm going to use now. So I don't think I need to move anything. So I'm going to go out here. I'm going to select all of the things here. I'm going to lock them so that I can't move them. Right, I don't want to be able to rotate or move them. I want to just place them inside, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to lock you guys. I don't really grab the walls that often, so it's less likely that it will happen here, but lock your stuff, guys. Make sure your stuff is safe. And with that, I think I could start adding some details. First thing I'm going to do is add some shadows. Add some of these long shadows. Too small. So like right at the base of the mountains, right? Or these larger cliffs. And you could just snap it if you need to, it's easier. Yeah, I'm just going to drag it straight across. I know these are at like 900, but we'll grab that shadow in a second. For now, we're just trying to get them in. Reestablishing that these are tall walls that cast a longer shadow. Technically, we could make it longer. See how that plays with our height. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll make these deeper by giving it a bigger shadow. There's also a thought. It's just a thought. B60s. So if I take this B60, right? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Play right here. Right. We're gonna go here. We'll fix it. We'll finish it later. So you do the long one right there, but you take the half 40. You're gonna go over the one that's next to it, right? And this is too big. Probably one will do. Sort of over the ends of it, and we'll actually do the proper follow and all that stuff. But you can sort of make the bottoms of them look a little bit darker. It looks a little better, honestly, with the double. Oops, we do that one, and then double shadow pad A4. See, sort of darken up the where the cliff hits, and it makes this look bigger. These are all just the little tricks that you can use to make your mountains look bigger, or your cliff sides look massive. There's 700s. Both walls. So we'll go back to what we were doing before. I hope that made sense, y'all. If it didn't, let me know. Sort of went over the cave to give it a little bit more distinction from what's happening above. There you go. Start giving it again more depth. We're going to funnel everything in if we can. Shadow pad 840. Place. And 900 blood proofs. So this is just going over the bottom of these rocks. So even if you drop some other stuff down there, which we will, sort of shows the difference between your top of rock and bottom of rock. Sort of hiding it. Giving these walls some pronouncement. We're going to do the same thing for these walls, but also give it, it's going to be more pronounced that these are hanging. So I can leave those alone for now. It's around 400. So we're going to use 300. Got it. Go to transition out shrink. And it's going to hit to here. But I'm trying to wrap it as much as I can. Ooh. All right, not bad. Try to grill it this time. This is where you have to use the side of the, but you just make it lighter. Transition fade transition. We're going to so you can sort of see that there is clearly what is up, folks. Thanks for tuning in to another Monday Maps with Matt. We are currently in the process of making canyon map, which is going well. But it is a bit tricky. We're currently in the more shadow details part, strictly because we got most of the outside done. Now we're just getting all of the depth of this, and everyone is having a good evening, enjoying themselves. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them into the chat. If you just want to chill and hang out, feel free. We're always welcome. Hydrate. How to stay hydrated. So similar tricks down here as well. Sort of put down the actual shadow, and then you use the double path along the edge to sort of signify that there is a deeper shadow. I'm going to do a similar trick here. Take twos. There. Use a shadow path with one. Sort of feather that into each of the things, so it's just not here. And if that's not correct, and we think we, which honestly, I think I may. Yeah, we may do something different. I don't know. Actually, no, because this is a full, even though there is to it, it's the stone sort of show that there's something underneath that we'll fix it later. As always, save your progress. Not want to lose that. Going to go out. Up to 5. This is one of those places where we're going to use the dynamics of shrinking to our advantage. It's exactly going to work out. I'll have to see it. One. As always, you can always do those little micro movements with your stuff, and it'll come out perfectly fine. Go back to a 1 here. Sort of get our style. Yeah. The only thing we need is that shadow. That shadow. Make that 2. We're gonna fade. extend this further than I need to. Because what I need to do for this one, unlock it, send back. Oh, that's on 4, that's why. Lock. That's on 4 as well, okay. What I'm gonna do is fix our guy here. I sort of want to give it a little bit of a pathway feel. Okay, I know what I'll do. Do the same thing I just did. Page shrink. I'm gonna put it on the 400 layer. I'm gonna put it in place here. And to bring it front. So now it sort of looks like it's going underneath. The sun sort of shining from the top, but it's also got a little bit extra. I made my other one. I'll do this all in one shot. Fake grow. Line this up with this one to about here. Same with this one. Line it up about here. There, all you do is grab this edge, bring it to front. So you sort of you can easily see this tunnel going on right here. And to make sure we can use this, we are going to drop a pattern at a higher level. Yet again, the hard part of finding the path, what we're using. Gravel 060. Pattern shape tool. You can do. Just gonna make a patch here. What that does, putting that at such a high level, whenever we put stuff on it, like I can put shadows on it and won't be able to tell. So for a terrain brush from using like the dirt, I can sort of just go right up to it. And just for understanding, I go to select my shadow circles. There you are. Though you can sort of see it peeking out the sides there, I can make this big shadow and can't quite see it. So what I would do is take like this half shadow, put it here, put it on that side as well, where it's something you can't quite see. Also, it's very good to put here. Hey, it is Samurai Walker X. Yo, your community manager, Matthew, my Walker X. Walker is here. Everyone say what's up. He will be there at DragonCon. If you see him around, say what's up. Come say hi. How's it going, Matt? Hope you're doing well. I'm going to put this on. Awesome. I appreciate you, bro. Hope you've been enjoying it. Maps coming together. So we've done a lot of the level stuff up here. Still got a couple of these that I want to tack on at the bottom, but y'all know me. I can't just have a couple levels. I want a lot. I want this one to be like a little bit of a test. Like you guys moving, like my players moving up and down terrain as it comes. And I sort of got this from the this post I saw by someone else. It'd be sick if we could just sort of make all of these like sort of steps. Like all of this is just going to be stepped up. And so I'm going to sort of take some of these ridges. Let's see, which ones will I want? It's going to have to sort of be I'll put them at 300 layer. And I am going to keep them smooth because I want to. I'm going to turn them back to 1 because they're not that big. Not all of them anyway. Oh, wait a minute. So right, these are around 400. So fun part about creating these whole, like terrain pieces is that you're never railroading your players, but you are giving them something to interact with. Like no matter what map you're using, look at the terrain, look at what's there, see what you force them to think a little bit more about what's going on. And they may just come up with something way more interesting than your current encounter. As you can see, I'm just sort of dropping these ridges, and it immediately breaks from just I walk straight to, oh, I have to traverse something. And what I think I'm going to do is undo these last two, but fade them out. Let's see if I can. Yeah. That fade out sort of turns it into whatever rock this was. And it sort of blends with your rocky exterior. So every rock strata sort of creates a new layer that they have to traverse and figure out and make it work. This one's going to be, yeah. These were some of my favorite parts. So they don't all have to be the same size. So like that one, I could make like 1.5, just make it a bigger step. It sort of blends in with what we're doing there enough that it's not an issue. You can sort of just layer. This one would not fade because it just doesn't move right. What I'll do is lean it on top of something, and you see it sort of blends in with this rock to make a strata. This one blends in with that rock, etc., etc. So even if they're going towards the same overall place, you can just sort of extend it to make it look like these are all in the same general piece of rock. That we're getting some cool effects. So even with these up and down motion, like you can have it such that this is all going up and this down is way more drastic. So I can extend this shadow way further. That's why these are a much deeper shadow than some of them, right? This is just so much higher than this. And what I can do is on this one, sort of push that shadow out a little bit more. To sort of show that this shadow here, this ridge, is thicker than the other ones. You sort of already see it on this side. I think I could. With that, we can also do some other things. So this one I want to have down and sort of I don't have it fade in. I'm starting from this side. And shrink out. So like from right here. Creating little pathways for your players to move. I don't love that one. I'm gonna create it. It doesn't look right there. That's why it's the wrong size. None. No matter what, no one ever truly has the high ground in fighting between the two levels. Maneuvering through whether you're up or down gets really interesting things with these levels. And now we're starting to get into fun stuff. I wanted to see what some of these would look like. Stairs. So let's see if I find my stairs. These some stone stairs. Try to make them like they don't have to be perfect. They can sort of just exist in the space, or like here's an easy way to get up versus slightly harder ways. And these aren't bad. So these are the stone RDDs, right? Yeah, if I wanted to make like just regular stone or like earth or like stairs, I could. I don't always like them. I prefer the stone. Like it just does the job right. So I'm just gonna put some stone stairs. And they don't have to be perfect. We'll put details on it just to make it look better. you can do it with like the intent of, oh, the passerby is put into sort of feel alright. Something the player could utilize to get up to a place. Hence why I'm sort of dropping them more distinctly within cells. But it doesn't have to be. It can make it hard for people, like putting it over here. You could also sort of just like create the step where like 4 stair would be more required, right? Where you only have 2 stairs. You could find some like broken stairs per thing. Our purposes we're going to use, we'll just keep using these 3 stairs. So anywhere there's a clear path, we don't need one, but anywhere they would need a path. So these, you can just say they're like 8 foot high, so it requires or like a jump of some sort. Makes it, gives your players something to chew on for these types of encounters. This one out of their foot. So because I'm going to do all this, I am going to make the rest of the stair. I'm just taking these 2 handrails there and just sort of sticking ends onto it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you take the medium handrail there, sort of line it up with your edge. Doesn't have to be perfect. And you take your little bollards, keep that angle, try to line up as best you can. 1, 2, 4. And notice I'm keeping them over so they lay over. It doesn't matter which one you use. And since these are small, I'm not worrying about the levels as much. Typically, I'd put these side parts on a higher level. And I may have to, just to keep the these are on the 400 level to match with this. Objects, actually I'm gonna have to, because yeah, we'll have to put all of these bollards and the handrail, put them at a higher level, because when you put your shadows on it, they're going to sit underneath it and over top of this. So we're going to put this up to 700 levels. So you can put a 700 shadow down here, and it'll be over these stairs, even if it's small. And I should have thought of that before, but it's okay. I can always fix it. So we'll switch this to 700. It's right the first time. Just so you understand, shadow on so that when I put shadows underneath these, it actually casts a shadow on the stair. That's all. I'll have to remember it on that higher level. It's alright. But yeah, now we've got something that picks it up a little bit. There's still things here that explore. Now if we want to give this character, honestly, rubble and rocks are the way to go. I like going with the bigger things first and then working our way down. And I think, let's see if they're actually boulders. Boulders. Good rock. So some of these type of fun with what we've done is what we do. Let's take like a rock like this, drop it to the 300 layer, and it'll just sit underneath all that. Put it on 200, and then you can see the shadow above it. And that's sort of what we're going for. Like, excuse me. Like the ability to just go, okay, this rock is smaller underneath this. And so everything down here underneath there is going to be a smaller size, but should be, you know, a boulder that would probably be like this big up here. When you put it down, probably about half the size. That's just depth. So, especially at right. See, the rock is clearly different size. So yeah. Hey, Dylan, what's up, man? How's it going? Welcome to Monday Maps. We are currently making a canyon, and with a fun little entrance to who there, but giving our players some trials and tribulations to go get them. Hey, awesome, man. Scrabble, honestly, great game. Might I ask who won that game of Scrabble? Oh, yeah, it's 400. Shadow path. Hey, where did? Shrink this to the end. I approve of this message. know, strategic. It really is all about word placement. It's always about word placement. I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. That's all. That's the key. I'm gonna fade here. So, all those who weren't here when I did it the first time, now is I am using my double-sided shadow to go along the edges of these cliff sides to sort of show the separation, not just the shadow that these things cast, but sort of give it the extra depth that you don't get from what's currently there. All you have to do is just go along the edge of your thing. Make sure you watch yourself. Just get your artifacts out. But it goes from looking sort of deep on this side to, oh, this is actually a fall on this side. And I'm using the fade because we can use a different texture over here, or just an underlayment to show that this is a thicker rock. Right, so let's just see it. Give it a little more rock in that area. Yeah, there we go. I'll probably just use the underlayment for that. This one's going over top, sort of. We'll fade into that. So F6. This is on here. Now the fades. This map I'm building for fun. I had this idea from seeing somebody else's map. I forgot who. I think I saved the picture, but not the person. But they did a really cool map that I think they used Incarnate for, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I think I could do that too. So I'm gonna give it a shot. And it's looking all right so far, so I'm happy with it. But I would definitely use this one in an interest. I would definitely use this for a fun, interesting encounter where like players have been trekking for a while, or just trying to solve their way into a place like this, like cave. And it seems like this would be an easy sprint minus these hills, but then you start putting people in weird spots, and you can sort of create your own little problems there. So just putting somebody up here that can push you off is a problem. Somebody's shooting from the other side is a thing. People blocking the cave entrance, and then having to, or giving the players a clear advantage where they see people going into the cave and they have to stop. So it's like, oh, those people have to run up, and when that happening, you pick them. They have the choice between running up or going to the cave, or something from the cave comes out. You know, use a variety of uses for something. Alright, so this one's over. This is a page link, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, we'll just go with that. Let's see how it looks. Nope. But yeah, there are a ton of people who make like really interesting maps, and every so often I'm like, oh, that looks really cool. I could do that. So I suggest if any of you see stuff like that, give it a shot. I'm sure you guys can. If you just want to make a sketch of it and go, oh, that'll look cool when I finally get it the way I want it or something. Or I can definitely make an encounter with something like that. Like, those are the maps that are like worth seeing. And feel free to comment on those maps too. I saw a secret cave location. Well, if it's in a cavern, we got one. And this would be the entrance to it. I do want to show a bit more shadow here. So I think I may redo the shadows under here to sort of show a difference in perspective on this. So filters out paths, please. Like that helps because there's a ton of paths over here. A half 60, let's B half 60. Yeah, that's a better overall shadow. So I'm gonna do the same thing for this on that. So that's just clearly going underneath that. And maybe, as I said, I'm gonna make this area a little bit darker. I'm gonna do save this. Let's do that now. By the way, I'm gonna write the names of the stuff down. Gravel 06 D. That's just so I remember what the color is. I may be going too high. Nope, there it is. What we're gonna do is take the shadow 20. Take your shape, and we're going to pattern shape it down to below ground. Just sort of trace your outlines and stuff. You start getting to your edge of the paper, you snap. Snap. With that, you've made something, you've changed the opacity of the ground. And I can always make it darker. So I'm trying to, instead of it being like 20, I can turn to that, provided I can find it again. It's like make it even darker. I could also do it directly with the ground type. That is the easiest way of doing it. So I will actually give ourselves some interesting terrain. So I think going from like weird grass. Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate you stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. The finals will be up on the socials. Catch a peek of it. Have a good night. Enjoy the fam. Enjoy the sleeping. I know after this I'm going to enjoy my. So. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this from that gravel color grass type here. I think what I'll do, may come back to now, but sparse. That actually looks like how I want it to. So what you can do is put some funky stuff in there to see if we've gotten into let's do tricky fun stuff territory now. So I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a shot, guys. Hopefully it works. It'll be really cool if it does. I don't see why it wouldn't. So I can put small trees in places. So like right there. Okay. Or like dead trees. Have the vines like crawling down. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, I'm gonna start doing some funky stuff. That's a little like a precursor to what the other guys did. The other person did it like all ice and it looked really, really dope. So it's like a bunch of, it was full on ice, like full winter. So ice and snow. That'd be really, so I thought about that. Pun 100% intended. But I was like, since I don't really have the ice textures for all of that, wasn't really feeling it. But I'm like, if I can do it with, I don't mind making it with all of, with regular trees. Maybe a bush or two that like actually spot, like green spot the area. Maybe change how this looks a little bit. But go from like actual I may have to change this. Because just so you're aware, I could always unlock more slots or have 8, but it does slow down your computer. It'll slow everything down because it's trying to load more stuff. Keep it to 4. Makes your life a whole lot easier. Yeah, so I'm gonna put some trees around here, some dead trees. And maybe some flags. I think that's the move. tree stump there, and the fact that they cut down the tree is why everyone. You know what? That does make sense. That's the move. We'll do that. It's been a good one. Typically, you don't make your tree stumps this big because that's unrealistic. A 5-foot wide tree, crazy. But to emphasize your point, do whatever you want. We're gonna put this on the 100 layer. This thing just below ground. Can always pick that up. That's fine. Shadow around it, make it look cool. So yeah, we'll go with the tree stump there, and then the dead trees along the rest of it. So, walls. Okay, so I'm going for the bear with actual shadow, so I don't have. We wanted to just to give some color. I want to put like a tree over here. I don't want to cover up the corners. So I'll put bushes there instead. That'll be moved. Something like this. F5s. Don't forget, always write down your numbers just in case to use it as a reference. And F4. Black. Turn opacity down to like 178. Then we take a look. See how it looks. It doesn't look great. We just put some shadow circles. It doesn't look the best, so we'll shadow circle it. Yeah. Sometimes all you just need is a shadow circle. Bushes. It'll have to be the same size. We'll place it. You sort of want to keep them the same type of flower or type of plant. Some other stuff there too. Yeah, they wouldn't go that far away. What you can always do is take like one of these small ones, just go over, get it small, like 0.3, right at the edge of one of these plants. Then grab your main one, objects, and bring it to the front. So you can see it has a little bit of shadow over top of it. Same thing for, I'm gonna do it twice up here. So here. Take this one, bring it to front. Oh, actually, hold on. Nope, I brought it too far front. Okay, bring those to front. And you take that one, bring that to front. So sort of get a little bit of distinction between the two plants. Just sort of get it right on the edge. The two plants are at the front. And sort of see it's not. Yeah, we'll use that to bring rest of this. We'll just put some like small plants along these edges. Some moss, some spots, some gravel. And I think we'll be good. I think we'll be good. That sounds good. But we will save. Thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. Hope you're enjoying this. Feel free to chill out, but if you have any questions or comments, just want to say what's up, feel free to drop it in the chat. Got you right here, so I can see y'all. And dude, if you can, stick around. We'll be dropping the premiere of the Mercs 2099 trailer at the end. So hence why I'm going a little bit faster. Or trying to anyway. So I've got some new vines. Oh no, I need roots. That's what I'm looking for. They gave us new vines and roots and stuff, so I may have shown it off previously, but so we'll take some of these tendrils of roots you just sort of hang them in place. That's what you do. Under. I could sort of put them in places that would make sense. So under all that, sort of hanging down. Yeah, something like that. And then you can press A. I wish I could drop it onto like the 600 layer, but I can't. It'd be perfect. But actually, what I can do is, because these are the 400 layers, I could drop them 4. And I could use the 700 layer to put like shadows on top of it so you can distinguish between where things are and stuff like that. Let's see if I can make that happen. So what we do is sort of on the 700 layer, it will show up below the tree itself. I'm going to try to take like the shadow path B40, maybe the A6, and just sort of go over these roots down here. Let's see where they. Yeah, all right, so that will work. So fade. Let's do A40. So sort of on the ridge, so you can see where the ridge gets its sort of shadow from. That's what we're laying this on top of. And the reason why we fade is because as it comes out these rocks, we want it to look the same. So you can sort of see this curve into there to make sure it looks. You can pull this back a little bit. Because you want them a different color than the actual tree, so people. Color can peek out here, but we'll do the same thing on this one. Sort of. Inch there. So it sort of looks like it's creeped down. Excuse me. Yeah. Now the tree looks like it has extra long roots. Pretty cool. I may change some of the look of the tree, like change the color of it, but we'll see. Back down on the 400 layer. That is a basis for something. Sometimes you just gotta make do with what you got. Alright, we have got some good stuff coming. Put some of these like larger clusters around. Yeah, we'll do something like that. And I did before. So 700 both. If it doesn't look right, just change it back to the one you want. Yeah, it's a little better. Cool. So got some trees with roots that are just sticking out there. Point back. Just want to create your base that way. This makes that actually was a very good idea. We love it when the plan comes together. Starting off so far from the tree itself, just so I can know where my ending point is. Always pull back. Last one. that's that. Let's drop a bunch of bushes and some rocks, and then we'll call it a day. And we won't call it a day. There's more stuff to put in. I think the colorful nature of the actual bushes makes this interesting. So it's like close by the edges, certain things have this greenish yellow color. Some of them are living though, so. Boom. Green ferns. Some of these trees just like holding on by it. Bushes are like, they will be gone soon. There. This place would be rocky and unpleasant. Yeah, pushing 6. Pushing 6. Pushing 4. Shadows. Cool. Double-sided. Something I may have done before. Try to do it again. Too big. Turn it down to like 0.75. Point. Make a point. Grab that. Bigger points. You can sort of make hills if you want to. So if you have change in height, sort of set your places that you're going to make the height difference. Bring your shadow down. Sort of round out your points. Switch it to I like them. Let's do it with, instead of that one, let's do it with fade. But yeah, it's pretty much this. Just sometimes it works with rostering, sometimes it works better with fade. I think this one may work better with fade just because of the sharp edges. So let's make this bigger. So now it's like it's not doing the thing. How do we make this work? 5 maybe? Yeah. I think that may be the move. Yeah, that's gonna be the move. So it's on 5. We'll just make the same curve, just all the way at the bottom. So down here, and you can sort of just double step it if you want to, just to sort of. It seems weird when you look at it, but this integration of like levels of something's there, so it's like you're either stepping down into it or stepping up over it. Giving these places like dimension, little depth. That's literally everything we've been trying to do, is to make sure there's still depth as possible for your players to enjoy and play with. Another ridge in there. little. Let's turn off the vape. Not bad. Yeah, that's right. Pull out this last point further. See how deep down into here you have to travel. Fill in some of these weird stratas down here. Yeah. So what you can always do is just make, if this looks like it's floating too high or like it's matching, you can always just shrink it down the and toward underneath right at this edge. So we're just give it a little bit extra. That's sort of what we're doing here. Is like that is one of push this up to yeah, that's fine. 400. You could sort of see, since I made it small, top drops right, so it all flows together. I didn't go over the shadow but so much, so it looked like the shadows don't that. So I'm gonna go back and then do my that bottom shadow. The E40. That above roof. I could do it at 700 of wall strength. And it's just at the bottom here, so if you want to have it like grow from here. Maybe a little bit too. Let's see how it works. That's some depth. That's some depth. So. As always, thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for. I'm having some fun. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the chat. If not, feel free to hang out. But by no means obligated. But I do appreciate you. Couple more bushes. Go with the actual green ones here. Just to offset some of the perpetual. Perpetual brown that's happening. And if you're making a map and it's like sort of looks the same color, even though you're like, I don't really want to put anything else here, drop in a flower, drop in a bush. It's perfectly fine to just use these little bits of color to break up the color palette. Your players won't know it, but they'll thank you for not just making a brown map. Got little pockets of color, little pockets of something that's happening there. Same with the steps, like those gray steps give something to direct your foot to differentiate ground types and something. It may seem silly, but all of these little things that I do to denote height are really just places to break up the ground, give it something different to look, give the players something different to look at, even if it's just for a little bit. Seems a little silly, but this is just to give it some dimension. I don't need it right now. It's similar to the way this is sort of stepped down. What I could do is what you can do is just make the width of the shadow a bit more. So I'm going to make the width of the shadow a bit more here. Just show that it's been a little bit deeper. Not the easiest of things to do. Or it is, and I was just making that up. Just shrink it then. 400 on. Yeah. So it's a bit bigger than it was before. I think just a regular height. Now it's further in. Oh, no, I was wrong. I got the right one there. I got the one here. This I have, yeah, okay. Keep that half. I just want to make sure I have a bigger. Nope. So we're gonna. A little bit more punch. So, let's see. The other thing I would add, well, say that there are a couple other small bits and pieces we can add, like rubble and rocks. Luckily, they've created a whole bunch of these already. So you sort of get like this stone little piles. Or these look like a whole bunch of smaller. What you can do is place them down low. Any place where there would be a pile of rocks or something. You can just drop it as a. So like, I think this corner would be great for. Pile. I want to use this color, but it doesn't look like it's the right shade. So I may just go with the brown and then backwards. I may have to just use these and put in some shadow over top of it to color correct. That's why you sort of stick them into corners. Oh, varying levels of damage. This is fall damage. Fall damage. I'm thinking easily 30 feet from this top level to down here. So definitely, this will hurt. Like if you get knocked off or somebody blasts you off. So if you're going by D&D rules, that's about 3d6 bludgeoning damage if you fall down there. It is not pleasant. Do not want to eat that at all. As you can see, I'm sort of hiding these rocks. They're not the right color, but you can tell that they're there. I'm sort of hiding them in the corners to color correct for what we got. And because that's honestly all you need, just to give the illusion of more rocks. See? Yeah, see, that's like the heights are one of the hardest things to do if you don't know your maps very well. Like if you grab somebody else's map, you want to make it a while. I always say even if you grab it, you don't make it yourself. Look at the map for a while, sort of understand the differences and the things that are happening, because your players will go, hey, can I go there? And you're going to have to make up a DC on the fly or a height on the fly, and just going, this is 30 feet high. Like, this is 30 feet higher than that all around. Cool. Until you get down to over here, maybe this is like 15. All right, this is the 15-foot mark. And you denote that by this line up here. But you can, if you're augmenting maps, so if you're taking somebody's map and drop, like using Roll20 or any of the other VTTs and putting like your own little bits and pieces, so maybe you get forgotten adventure stuff and you're putting a little bush down, you can use bushes. Like this line of bushes is going to be where your height changes. So this is the 15-foot line. This tree here, this ledge here is 30. This is a 30. This is like this tree line is 30, but this jump here is 45, right? You could always mess with that. Technically, this would be about 40, and this would be about, because as we've established, we're going up here. And so you can sort of utilize that. So yeah, I'd say this is a good 30-foot drop. This is probably 40 if you get knocked off. In terms of critters, I did not want to put any critters in here initially. Only because I want the fact that there are, like, I may put some bones down here as something has been eating critters or eating, but I also sort of want this to be more inviting, where you're like, it's people are funneling in towards the like sort of funneling in towards the mouth of the cave. So like it's one of those things where, like, if I tell you, hey, there's some critters, then everyone wants to make the critters their friend, but then everyone gets mad at me when I have the bigger thing eat the critter or them. The critter may live. Maybe the critter's lore. Who knows? But those are things that you can sort of drop down. That you can use as a token. Like the critters you can use as tokens to get them in there. Or people or something like that to sort of denote the other thing. Also, if someone were to use this map in a thing, I would highly suggest having, and this is a thought, having your players have the upper hand, having so much high ground against the foes right here, only to have them eaten by whatever's inside, and now the real threat becomes apparent. So it's one of those things where you can have a double-sided battle utilizing this map, or something's coming back home and you're trying to run and they're coming. You can use pincer maneuvers. This map is big enough to utilize a whole lot of different tactics as a DM, which is really, really fun for me. And I hope you guys make your own maps and do some horrible things to your players. Let me know about it. If they're upset, you can blame me. These are the tiny little things you'd never notice, but you see this coloration here? That means this wasn't close enough. The path is slightly off. See? And you could fix that. Tiny modifications. See, nothing crazy, it's just the little things you look for while you're doing all this. If there is rubble down there with some rocks, gotta have pebbles. I do really like just the regular scattershot pebbles. If you use pebbles like this in a setting, like if I just threw some pebbles here, I would have to drop a big rock. So you can sort of use pebbles as the basis for where a large rock is going to fall or has fallen. Just because it doesn't make sense for rocks to have gotten so far. Unless you're like fully hiding it under here. If I'm going to use pebbles as the full thing, there should be a big rock. So I'm going to drop a big rock on top of those pebbles. And next to those pebbles. Save. Ooh, that's for later. See, so many cool things in Forgotten Adventures. Big rock. Or boulders, actually. Yeah, the boulder definitely said I needed a bigger boulder. That's 100%. And the fun thing for all you guys, rocks and boulders and stuff like that, use them to break up your terrain. So what looks like a massive archway here, if I put a rock here, that's something you can hide upon. This now becomes blocked. But you can always use rocks to break up your terrain to make it just that much more difficult for your players to figure out what's going to happen, or put them in weird spots to funnel your players into narrow. For all you DMs that like lightning bolt, I'm just saying, you can always make a place more narrow. The amount of times I've created a random thing that was like, you know what? I could put a mimic here if I want to. It should be enough to make my players scared. Because I don't. Until I do. Until I do. Just playing. But I will. But yeah, let me just drop this last rock here. And another here. not gonna use such a large boulder. That should probably be pebbles. Here. That, I'm gonna throw some shadows down, and I think I'm gonna be the most part. I think only thing I'll do off stream is throw some moss. And God, so give me another minute or so to throw down all the shadows on these rocks. One thing, so one, two, two. No, I think I did. Oh, no. I think we're in pretty good shape. Only thing I'm gonna do is probably throw just some lines of moss on stuff. All you do is you sort of throw it in a corner. Or fit into the contour of the rock. And you don't even have to shadow it but so much if you don't want to, as long as you put it in these natural. Oh, to try to staple the sides of the. Oh yeah, pretty much. That's like you can sort of treat these as like, as I was saying, 3-foot ledges. So it's like a pain. They were like, no, I don't want to. No ledges. We're just putting stairs in, and so they just made some stone stairs out of what they did just to pretty much get around doing the annoyances. And if you're ever stuck for something, like you see this area looks a little funky, I can just put some moss right there. And most likely what I'm going to do, because I'm just doing this kind of, so it doesn't look bad. Like you sort of see where this artifact is right here. I can take something like this. That's right the first time. So take something like this, put it in the corner, and it takes away from whatever was there. You're using this to hide your mistakes, but not in the way that it's bad, just in the way that, I don't love the way that it bent that way, so I'll get rid of it. And it gives the rest of your stuff a little bit, some extra personality. And the only thing you have to remember is that in order to give it some authenticity, we'll have to throw some shadow on top of it. Vary the sizes a little bit. So like some of these shorter pieces you can use. See how they just fits in there. Yeah. So I do need to. I'm gonna put these all on the floor here so I can make it a little bit easier. Give me just objects, please. Should get to 400. There was already a shadow there. You see how this immediately shadow, and it starts to look more natural. That's what you're going for. So when I send that to the 100, if there's shadow there, which there is, it immediately looks more natural and part. And just that shift in layer with that little bit of shadow on top of it makes these look more real, really. And you don't have to use anything special. Use the shadow path for 40% on this 400 layer or 700 layer above. And so like right here. Whoa, too big. Ha ha ha. Let's shift it down to 1.5 fade. Yeah. So it doesn't have this. See? You don't need to do the whole thing, just enough of it to make it look like there's some change in depth. And have some of these go up into the rock to make it look cool. See, so rock first, then this back into the rock. Let's throw stuff on top of the rock anyway. And the rock itself looks more. And with that, just little bit, you've actually highlighted the area, made it broke it up a little bit. I'll do the same thing over here a little bit later. Unless you don't mind me spending the next 3 minutes just going one. Actually, I can do it I'll do it in 5 minutes. After that, you guys have been more than patient. Already set those on the 400 layer. I'm going to take these curves. Oh, I don't have the other one. That's fine.
You're listening to
And it doesn't have to go everywhere, just enough places so that's sort of noticeable. Just enough so that people go, oh, yeah. You can use these small pieces for these like ledges. Yeah, it turns from looking like a straight rock with a bunch of artifacting on it to something interesting. It looks more rock-like. We'll understand. Oh, that's a rock. It's not just a weird straight edge. um, yes. So there are a bunch of like different small things you can add to it, like or add to the whole thing. As Matt said, like add lichen, add like mushrooms growing in places. You just sort of put stuff in little places. If it looks too bright, put a shadow on top of it. Other than that, should be good to go. That looks good. Only thing I want to do last minute. Oops. I think I said this when I did the first like cliffs maps. After you put in a whole bunch of cliffs, that just go in like some of these crevices. It turns the realism up. Doesn't make it all look super straight. Like this whole thing, I have to go on top and do that again. And it's not all the way, it's just enough to make it look interesting. I would do just go above roof over. I'd probably use fine. Just like right along here. Turn off the fade. It's not sort of the rocks will something makes them less hyper prevalent. You gave them depth, so we're just harder. Okay. So this full map where we got our multi-leveled, probably a little bit stranger than normal encounter where there's a lot going on and there are a lot of things that happen, and you can definitely make some fun things happen here. So just Ever something doesn't look right, just oops. There we go. There we go. That's what it was. I'll probably cover that with the rock. Yeah, that'll make me happy, so it doesn't look that one little piece that doesn't look right. And then I can cover with a regular rock. They don't all have to be crazy large. You need some sort of a sitting rock. Those are the good ones. Regular old sitting rock. And that's a rock that you can use as somebody can throw on somebody. There you go. Give the players an interactable rock. So. I think that's gonna be it, guys. So yeah, this feels pretty good. I think this is awesome. So yeah, I'll think of some other thing before I post it, maybe. If not, yeah, this is what you get. But yeah, I think this is a really interesting map. Something that'll definitely like a cool place to kick off right before dungeon or a cave system, or as a formation for that, or just an interesting place to have found your exit. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys like it. Again, I'll go through all the cool stuff that's been happening for me and Obsidian Brews, Samurai Walker X Map, our community director over here at Obsidian Brews, and myself at GenCon. Had a blast. What's up to all the folks? It was great. We were both healthy. We made it back safely. But yeah, it was an awesome time. All of Obsidian Brews will be at DragonCon. So if you happen to be in Atlanta for DragonCon, come through, say what's up. Love to see you. And come to all the stuff. We got a lot of stuff happening. It's gonna be fun. Hellfighters, the actual play I was in over on Queen Gaming, for a bunch of things on New Jersey Web Fest. Check out their socials because it was dope, and I'm really proud of that. It was awesome. And on Friday, 8/16, this coming Friday, we have Obsidian Brews' own fearless leader, Bendy Dinosaurs, is written the story and will be GMing Mercs 2099, featuring Candace the Magnificent, Exquisite Corpse, Madame Ava Couture, and our production extraordinaire, Ambe. Yes, that's right, you're gonna get to see their face. Tonight, or Friday, August 16th, 7:30 p.m. So go check it out. And I think we may have a trailer for it. Do we have a trailer? I think we do. So how about y'all just sit back real fast and take a quick look at the trailer. This. Yeah, that's gonna be fire, y'all. That's gonna be super fire. So come through this Friday, August 16th, 7:30 p.m. It's going down. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be super dope. So with that, I think we're done for today, or at least I am. I'm going to rest myself and probably get some sleep soon ish. Maybe, hopefully, I should sleep. We'll figure it out. But with that, I appreciate you. Love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. Drink some water. But that, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming by. And we'll catch you next time. I think we'll probably go raid the homies over at All Haven. So stick around. That. Later, y'all.
You're listening to R&B Instrumentals.